we're having so many chats with different business owners who are in plenty of different industries. And we are starting to notice some themes about, not only who does the program work for, but who does the structure of like charging a premium with one service that solves a lot of problems for your client so you can charge a premium. What industry, who does this work best for? And more importantly, who are we seeing where it's like, if you apply and you're having the conversation and this is your kind of business, where we're like, this model doesn't actually work best for this industry. So if you are in a place where you can like, you're at a fork in the road
And
and you
got to
have a couple
choose.
options and you have to choose, we want to give you some guidance on what we would do if we were in your position.
No, for sure. So I want to start before we dig into the industry specifically. I do want to talk about, but essentially you have two options at all times to grow your business in terms of volume of sales. Volume of sales is ultimately determined by the price you charge and the number of clients. So if those two things are like juxtaposed, if you want to work with less people and be more intentional, have bigger impacts, then generally you have to charge a more premium price point, and that will unlock that ability for you to work with less people. But if you stay at a certain price point, the only way to hit your goals consistently is to play the volume game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that for certain industries that doesn't work. In many industries that works. Like, think about all the service providers that you run into on the regular. Hairstylist,
Mm-hmm.
volume industry.
Yep.
Dentist, volume industry.
Yep.
Anyone who's doing like a short, like if you like walk into a brick and mortar and you're getting access to a short service, estheticians,
Mm-hmm. A dog groomer place.
yeah, there's so many
Pest control,
where
lawn
they're,
care. Like,
yeah, they're relying on large volumes of people and like essentially like a booked out schedule where you like have a time that you work with someone. But that is a totally different ball game than when you're working with a service provider who, now in our realm, we, while on the premium spectrum, there are three types of services. So like if you're doing hourly services or hourly at a brick and mortar, then that's the volume game. But on the premium spectrum and the things we're teaching inside the incubator, you could be doing one-time projects, and that could be like over a span of time or in like a VIP day setting.
mm-hmm.
Or you could do a retainer project where you have a contract for a set amount of time and certain deliverables you're doing every single month. And ultimately, you can charge whatever the climate will bear, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping in mind that value is perceived by the person receiving the service.
Right. Well, and what we see too is that a lot of people who have mental roadblocks and mental hesitations about charging premium dip their toe into it with the retainer model, because you can charge less in the retainer model because it's still a little bit of a quantity game, because you have to have that right. The levels have to match of, I am still charging appropriately. I have the capacity to work with this many people, but my contracts are set in stone for this amount of time. So it's more of like you get the people in, and as long as you're refilling the bucket as people leave, then you're going to be golden. But we start to see clients who are like, okay, but now even that feels like too many people. And so I want to like, okay, maybe I start introducing a premium package, and I'm going to finish this project. It's not ongoing. So I can get a little bit of both. And I personally see the people who are like really enjoying what they're doing and getting that creative itch scratched in different ways is very small amount of retainers for consistency, and then cash injection for higher packages that end.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a right or wrong with
Nope.
the mix. I think it really goes down to like, where do you feel like you personally are best? If
Mhm.
you are so incredible with relationships and you have no problem landing clients,
Yep.
then volume, whether you're doing it on the lower end of the price point or volume in like a retainer model where you're charging a little bit less potentially and working with less clients. We also have people who are charging a lot on a retainer, but they're only
Mhm.
working with a couple of clients.
Mhm. That's possible too.
I think it just depends on where you want to like
Mhm.
put your energy.